Hello, everyone, dear listeners. James here, and
Bart here. Welcome.
yes, welcome on the second podcast in this month. As we said, yes, we're improving not only in the numbers but also in form, because the last podcast was about news. Today's is one about our hobby, personal projects, personal spaces.
About our hobby and about the project we are working on in our studio, about the news from the studio. We want to separate these topics, the news section and the hobby section.
We tried also to do this a little bit shorter, but the last news section went for another hour. So let's see what we will do today and how long it will be.
Yeah, exactly. And before we will start, thank you for the comment under the last episode of our podcast.
Yeah.
James, did you write a
reply? I always respond as soon as I see something. So this is the first thing.
And also, we have a record-breaking video on our YouTube with the StarCraft release.
We'll talk in a moment about the StarCraft, but yeah, if you haven't seen already our StarCraft video, please go there, look at this, because yeah, we poured a lot of heart and a lot of hard work to making this happen. And beside the proposition there about the StarCraft and commission painting, there is a lot of nice things to see with the StarCraft as a game, and especially about the minis.
Yeah, under this episode of podcast, we would love to hear what is your personal hobby goal right now, what you're working on, what game do you want to play. Let's discuss.
Yes, of course. We'll do this from our end in a second, but let's hear about your personal spaces.
Yeah, let's go, James.
Yes, let's go. But before about our personal hobbies, personal spaces, there was a earthshake going on in the miniature world. In our opinion, it was an earthshake because it even, in my opinion, shakes a little bit the Warhammer 40k universe. It's a StarCraft premiere.
Yes, it's a StarCraft premiere, and to be more precise, the pre-order.
We've sold the minis, we've sold the bundles, the starters, everything. What will the future, the game, the system will base on, probably, because right now the starters aren't the exact starters that will hit retail.
Yes.
They're called Founders Edition. And next to the starters, you've got some bundles, some additional units to those sets. So there's a full-on launch right now.
Yeah, pre-order started 3 days ago. We are recording at the end of Friday, and everything started at Tuesday.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
It started with a big disaster on Archon Studio side because
website went down.
All the websites and web stores went down.
Yeah, we were waiting with launching our own stuff for the end of the stream. We thought it would take about 2 to 3 hours. Imagine logging us on the YouTube to watch the stream, and the stream has ended after half an hour, I do believe, because they went to put down the fire on their website on their end.
I saw a little bit panic at the last minutes of this stream. It was super quick shutdown.
Yeah, and
okay, guys. That's the end of for now. See you later.
But nonetheless, it was, in my opinion, very successful premiere, because even under our video, which has right now about 4,000 views, there were a lot of comments that people were saying, "Yeah, I pre-ordered."
I did not see any further info, but after the first day, I saw the comment from Jarek. It's the owner of the Archon Studio. He posted on Discord channel that they sold more than 4,000 copies.
1,000 copies.
Yes, in the first 24. I'm not sure if it's true or not. As far as I'm following the streams, he's very straightforward with the data
and kind of open, right?
So I believe that after 3 days we are probably with more than 10,000 copies sold, but it's of course only my prediction.
Yeah. In my opinion, looking at the the sheer numbers and the system, which was kind of forgotten, let's be honest. Like, the second game came out in 2010, I do believe, 2011, something like that. And let's be honest, the game was a little bit forgotten, and the system is completely new. So 10,000 copies, let's say, it's a big success in my opinion.
I believe that they planned for 25,000 copies in pre-order. They are ready for about 50,000 probably. So I really hope they will sell as much copies as possible. It's great system so far, and for many reasons it's important for us. Maybe we'll talk about this later.
And miniatures are great. I don't know about rules, but as we heard, these are solid as well. But how it goes on the tabletop, we'll
Rules
see.
are available online.
Yeah, these are online, but
they started the website, the application.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I have this symptom that okay, I can read the rules, but I need to see how it goes on the tabletop physically. So for me to talk about the rules, I would need actually to to print probably something or use some proxies and look how it will go live on the tabletop, even because the full opinion, you can give full opinion about the rules, about how the game feels when you actually play it, right? So
yeah, the pre-order is live on GameFound website
as well,
and and in the Archon Studio web store. What surprised for me that many stores around the world recently started the pre-orders
as well.
It is a big surprise for me. I thought that they will postpone the retail pre-orders.
Their own retail pre-order.
I'm curious if the starting pace of the selling wave pushed them to start retail pre-orders earlier, maybe to report better income. It may be.
I think mostly those stores are just securing their spot and grabbing their piece of cake, right? Looking how the game started to gain popularity. In my opinion, it was like we were actually the first ones, or one of the first ones, to write about the StarCraft, right? After the initial release.
Yeah, we were early birds.
Yeah, we were early birds. Right now, there are a lot of YouTubers and a lot of influencers who actually jumped the ship as well. So everyone is trying to grab their own piece of cake right now. And in my opinion, completely not looking into our social media or at our end, but we also have this our end because we have some proposition as well for people with StarCraft. It's good because the game is gaining popularity in astonishing speed actually, so it's good. For my Polish actually reasons, and for the StarCraft reasons, which I've got as well, the StarCraft has a little bit of space in my heart actually. I'm just glad that it's going right now as it is. Tell me, what do you want to grab?
I already have everything because it's the privilege of being head of a quite big commission painting studio.
Quite big.
So I have all 3 armies with all the expansions already.
I remember we were talking that you wanted to buy another starter set to grab 2,000 points armies. Is that still true, or you are just like considering?
I'm thinking about it. I will need to play at least 1 or 2 battles before I will decide to buy more units, because if I will, and I would buy them, I need to fill the exact spots on my army.
I'm probably going right now. I'm still in the middle of like thinking about 2-player starter plus the additional units, 1,500 points, that version without the Protoss, because I feel the Protoss are actually the most difficult miniatures to paint in the lineup. This is my opinion.
It depends on the color scheme.
Probably, but as I'm looking like on the Zergs, we won't quit those comparisons. Zergs are like freaking Tyranids, so it's easy. The Terran Marines are like Space Marines, and look that the Protoss don't have, in my opinion, like visually the same similar something like
I talked about the complexity of painting with Emily. Emily is our senior painter, and she is responsible for many miniatures you saw
on our socials.
And not only on Archon Studio materials too. And she told me that Zergs are a little bit easier than Tyranids. Terrans are harder than
the Space Marines,
and the Protoss are in pair with Custodes.
Okay, so yeah, okay.
if you're looking for similarities with the more popular armies right now.
On the video, actually, with some guidance of Emily as well, I've painted for at least like for some degree the Terran Marine for the video on the YouTube channel. And like I felt like, okay, I can paint this. I'm not the painter here in the studio. I'm not super like pro level, but I can paint something. And I felt like, okay, I can paint this and be happy with the results on the Terran Marine. On the Zerg, it's also the same feeling, but on the Protoss, looking at the Protoss, especially at the armor of the Protoss, I'm looking there and I don't have an idea how I would approach the miniature, how I would start the painting process.
The biggest challenge on the whole line, in my opinion, is that the sculpts have so many round shapes that it's quite hard to apply many simple techniques.
Yes.
Because the dry brush is not working as good as on many 40K models there.
You need some edges for dry brush, right? So if you've got round shapes and no places where the brush will, leave the paint, right? Will leave the dry paint, it just basically won't work, right? So
of course you can overcome this issue with different techniques, maybe using more stippling than dry brush.
Yes, but it's still another level.
Or maybe using round brushes for dry brush and making round moves on the surfaces.
Some kind.
Swirling instead of miss the word.
Making the brush strokes.
Making the brush strokes. Yeah,
making the brush strokes. Yeah. So about the minis, this is it. I think we can talk more and more, but maybe let's make a point here. I'm still thinking about the 1,005 points or collector's edition. So like every model from the lineup right now as it is.
Please remind me what's in the line right now. What expansions are
right now? Now we've got for the not looking at the starters, right? So in the starters there are units which are in the status. Every unit is available as a separate piece right now, as a separate box.
And as a wave 1
as a wave 1 Hydralisks for Zergs, Goliath for the Terrans, and for the Protoss, the Stalkers. The Stalkers, those two models.
And what do you think about the clear plastic? Will you paint over the clear plastic?
Yes.
To create OSL effects and stuff like this, or you will leave the clear plastic on your models?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Something in between, because there will be some places when I will probably paint over it and completely do this, because like you've got the adepts where the clear plastic is installed before the full assembly of the mini, so you cannot take this off, start painting and put this back, so you need to use the green masking putty or like tape or whatever. I haven't played much with it, so I don't know how it would work, so probably I would paint over it, but everything what is outside the model or can be attached to the model afterwards, I will probably add after and make some effects with wash, with some contrast, with airbrush. I really like what Emily actually did on the Protoss miniatures.
On the pylon, or you are...
Or the pylon as well, but yeah, because we on the pylon there is still the effect of the transparent, translucent plastic, right? So I really like this and what she did in the Protoss with the energy knives. They are like 2-step colors, and it's really, really nice to actually insert this clear plastic and later do something with it. Actually, there's nothing holding off someone to just install this clear plastic and move on, right? There's no problem with it, and I do believe many painters and people who will assemble the models will do this as that, because it's cool effect without huge amount of skill needed to get this level of display. I mean, yeah, this is it.
I will personally go with full painted.
I know that you are not fan of this solution.
Yeah, I think that with the correct mix of different techniques like object source lighting and maybe some kind of energy
non-metallic metals,
it will look more epic.
But look at this from this point of view. even that we are talking about this and we have like different opinions about that element added,
and that's cool.
That's cool. That makes it right like additional option to make your army unique in some way. So for me, some people say it is a little bit gimmicky, but for me, it's actually cool addition to the game.
And what do you think about the pricing?
2-player starter, very good. Protoss, all right, still better than
And single boxes.
I will drop $5 maybe from them. I don't know. Like I'm comparing Polish prices.
For example, if you will need to make a sacrifice, no clear plastic sprue, and you save $5 per box.
Damn good deal. Damn good deal. Like I will take that deal probably.
I'm just curious.
I don't know. I'm kind of trying to save on the miniatures as I can because like having a wife and a kid and stuff makes like very very difficult to be. I feel like gymnastic guy who is trying to stretch everything and grab everything together. And for me, the price is something that I'm looking on. But yeah, I think in some cases, I would leave the clear plastic and grab the discount. But in some places, like in the Protoss, I think I would take the clear plastic. Terrans, I wouldn't mind, leaving that clear plastic behind. Really. There is like some units that really get something more from it, like the probe droid, like those that's floating. I don't remember the exact name.
This fire.
Yeah, we've sold with Jim Rhino. Yeah, I will drop this. But for the Protoss, I will take the clear plastic because I think especially there.
Yeah, let's talk about what we have cooked for the StarCraft release in our studio.
A lot of stuff actually, because like we've got every faction painted, every model from all the lineup painted actually, because with those additional models, we've painted everything. Goliath, we've painted Stalkers and painted the Hydralisk. Hydralisk actually were the first models we received.
That's true.
So right now we've got the outside the miniatures. We've got all the galleries on our website right now. The blog is still waiting for entering it because there's a lot of stuff going on. Today, at the time of recording this podcast, we are dropping the first showcase of the army on the video, on the shorts, and on the Instagram Zergs. And every week we'll probably drop 2 to 3 some kind of materials with the StarCraft. We've got still a lot of photos on blank white background where you can see all the details of the models, but also we've got a lot of photos where we try to make some scenery with available sets of the terrain, but also we've got our own terrain.
Yes, we prepared a lot of terrains for the game because
2 sets right now.
2 sets, but also the crystals. If you're curious and want to improve your battlefield before the premiere, it's worth to take a look. We have something prepared for the Protoss army, like a abandoned temple.
If you play at StarCraft, it's heavily inspired by StarCraft.
Yes.
You know what you have on the maps while playing Protoss. And for the Zergs, we've got like these very
infested base, something like this.
Yeah, it's
a lot of living tentacles.
Violet and green stuff. And it's really, in my opinion, I really love those terrain sets. And I think we've nailed the job with those. Additionally, we've got some on our shop as well, the accessories for the StarCraft as well, the gaming accessories.
And bases.
And the most important, because we've got a lot of bases in our offer, we added 5 sets of the bases dedicated for the StarCraft tabletop miniatures game.
We did our homework, and I'm telling it with a proud that we are prepared.
There will be a link in the description, and just guys go check it out. Check our website, web store, and who knows, if you find something useful for yourself, just grab it. Okay, but let's leave StarCraft for a moment because the StarCraft was already on our podcast and will be on our podcast. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's a hot topic, and probably you will see on our YouTube. I hope you will see on our YouTube a battle report with painted models and painted terrains.
Yes.
Just spilled.
Oh, yes.
And I hope we'll be able to make it in April.
Yeah, when the game will be available, right?
Yes. I would love to put a battle report, even small, maybe not 1,000 points battle, but 500 points battle, but before the actual release of the game. I would love to do that.
How it plays. We can give some insight from before the game releases, and we will have it on your.
I already have painted Goliath and have painted Artanis with Pylon, so it will be probably Protoss versus Terran.
Protoss versus Terran.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, because also the Zergs are like in the numbers the most like big army. We'll try to play it painted, of course, but I think if we'll manage to build them, and we won't have spare resources to paint.
I have the first battle scheduled for 4th April. Anyway, with Wojtek from our studio.
Okay.
If you don't know, and probably you don't know, we are meeting after hours to play board games, to play war games, sometimes to paint.
I will talk about this a little bit because like I've got some info.
Yeah, because the models are not only a work.
Yes,
it's a way of life, and all of you already know that you want to follow the news for your favorite system, to be excited with all the new releases and with the upcoming editions.
Really, it doesn't work like that because like here sits the head of the studio, so he can speak like that. Yeah, but from my point of view, this is really true that the work is the work, right? But after working hours, I don't have problem, to sit back and start painting miniatures. And I don't have this problem in my head. Oh my God, I'm still at the work. I'm seeing these miniatures on the work right now. I'm seeing those again. No, there's nothing like that because, like, as you said, it's a way of life. It's some kind of a way of life.
It sounds silly, but it really is.
It sounds silly, but it gives so much for me. The hobby gives so much, calmness. Because like when you're assembling the miniatures, when you're painting the miniatures, there is some kind of calm in this, right? Your creativity.
It really boosts the creativity. Okay, you're seeing the new model and immediately, okay, I want to have it in my collection. And the next one, I want to have it painted in this color scheme. And I want to create this army. And I want to meet with this guy and play this battle.
I was looking at Terrans and Marines, right? So I was started to thinking about this. Okay, this model is cool. I know how I will paint it. I'm thinking about the steps, early steps, because in my opinion, the painting scheme evolves with the time, spending on the miniature, right? But yeah, I'm thinking, okay, how I will manage to do this, how I will paint this, right? This is something what I had in mind lately because I painted actually, looking at my schedule, I painted a lot lately. So there is one topic that I'm actually very much into in terms of gameplay, but in terms of miniatures.
And it is Darkwater.
It is Warhammer Quest Darkwater. My God, I didn't, knew when I was making the commentaries here about this game that it will take me alive into this and will hold very, very long. I left many miniatures on my shelf which were in the queue to painting, and I pushed the Darkwater inside because I wanted having them painted. Started playing with Patrick, with one of our guys from the e-commerce. We started playing the campaign. Right now we are in the middle of it.
Yeah, how many games are you already played?
4 or 5 for 3-4 hours. So reading 10 to 15 hours, okay, maybe if you are fast enough, if you're not thinking, not role-playing a lot. We actually role-play a little bit, but we both have very analytical minds and we think about every freaking step, so it takes time, right? Mm-hmm. So we are min-maxing everything probably, so that's it.
And what's your feeling from the games? What's your feeling from the experience? Think about the game.
It's great for the people who are outside this world we are living in. I think it's a great way, to be the evangelist of miniature gaming, because it's still a board game, but it has some aspects of wargaming, right? Miniatures, but also some rules are very much applied to the board game. It's very simple in terms of rule set. it's very simple to learn how to play, because basically for the hero, you've got 3 moves you have to perform and you've got equipment you have to use, and that's it. As the game master, you need to know how to move the miniatures, how to move especially the enemies, because the enemies have their own system, own brains, let's say like that. It's a dice system because you've got 2 dice which actually tell you which enemies will do what. But even that, it's really, really simple. It's way simpler than normal, let's say, Warhammer 40k rules. It's another league, right? So it's great to introduce new people into the game, but at the same moment, the game is not easy, actually. It looks easy, but when you're playing the scenarios called encounters, there are some mechanics that you have to consider. And if you don't consider them, go straight to the enemy, start, rampaging them with swords and axes and magic, you will lose, because there are very much additional in every scenario objectives that you need to do. And if you won't play it smart, you will lose by probably getting the end of the time, because there are times the gameplay is timed per encounter. So that's it. But for me, I'm really invested. I'm really in the game.
Yeah, you printed the inserts for the game.
Yes.
You purchased the white dwarfs for additional heroes.
Yes,
that's super cool from the Games Workshop that the company is supporting the game by such of small expansions.
Yeah, 3 expansions right now. We've got already the third is on the way in the March.
For example, if you're a player of Age of Sigmar and have one or
you've got Flesh Eater Courts. 4 heroes from them. You can use them in the Warhammer Quest Darkwater, of course.
That's cool.
And that's cool. There is some lore behind it as well. Let's say for Flesh Eater Courts, the Shoran, the Mad King, thought that the Nurgle is, going a little bit too much in JW. He was thinking that everyone will betray him because, he's a Mad King, right? So he sends an elite squad of guys who are rotten to do some cleaning in the JW. So, it's still relevant. Right now, we've got the Flesh Eaters, the Elf, the Luminate Realm Lords, and there will be right now the Water Elves.
Deepkin.
Yeah. So Water Elves right now. So this is it. I think we'll see at the end of the year. White Dwarf will be another expansion. I really hope that there will be a big expansion after that.
I'm quite sure that there will be a big expansion. Such games are always prepared with the expansions in mind. And considering that the development of this game probably happened a few years ago, I bet at least 2 expansions standalone by means it's a separate box or separate set.
Can't wait. Right now, I'm preparing, after we'll end our gameplay right now, I'm preparing to again play with some other people which are not very much into the wargaming, but actually there are more board game players. And I do believe they will love it. So for me right now, the game is great. I love it. I started painting. I painted Enmark Valoran.
We already have one commission for this game too on our display level, and I can't wait because personally I'm not a big fan of the game. I tried, played 2 scenarios, and it's kind of not for me. Maybe it's a bit too easy for me, or maybe as we talked, this game for 2 players might be
because we are right now
played with 4 players, and for me it was a little bit too
less of interaction, right?
Exactly.
You had 1 hero per encounter. You moved 4 to 5 times, let's say. Playing the Warhammer Quest Darkwater with 2 players, great, actually great. And I think you played actually 2 encounters, I do believe.
Yes, 2 missions.
Yeah, the game, it's like a snowball, rolling down the hill. It's gaining more and more when you play. So
I totally love the models. I admire that you can use Nurgle models in normal Age of Sigmar. That's a big yes for me. I will find plenty of usage for the heroes. It may be for the RPG. It might be for the other miniature agnostic systems. I'm not sure if they have rules for Age of Sigmar right now.
They have. You can play with Nurgle as a spearhead.
But the heroes?
But the heroes have some, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, some legacy and the legends units. You can play them, but not on official tournaments, I do believe.
Okay.
Enmark Valoran is for the Sigmar, Cities of Sigmar. The Drolf is for the one of the dwarves. I don't remember, but yeah, you can play them, but not officially.
Okay.
But the Nurgle, every model in the Nurgle in the Darkwater is actually a spearhead right now. So I will probably play my first spearhead.
Even Kelpies?
I don't know. I need to check.
Okay.
Probably, maybe, I don't know. Like Pox.
So yeah, to sum up this Warhammer Quest topic, we will have a full detailed gallery with so beautiful models at our display level.
I will probably.
I bet in at the April.
Will probably, of course, make some commentaries and videos and stuff, but I also have in mind, we'll see, it will happen.
I also admire the book in this game.
Okay, actually everything in this game, from the point of, inside the box, everything is very, very nice, prepared. There is a lot of, as well, fluff. I love fluff, actually. So that's why I also bought the White Dwarfs, because there was a lot of additional history, how everything turned out in the JW. But what I wanted to say is...
we talked about the book.
Yes, the book. And before, I wanted to talk about yes, I will probably create a video about it. I know it will be late because, the freelancers and influencers on YouTube, actually ate the cake, probably. But I want to make a deep dive in the game, the system, after,
maybe with the set of painted models from the studio.
Yes. I also, while I'm talking about the Darkwater as well, I started to painting those minis. As I said, I finished Edmark Valoran, and I started, and it's a little bit, I'm, talking about what we've talked before about the painting schemes and coming up with painting schemes. I thought about how to paint them, but I didn't want to make them green as every Nurgle. So I started, to searching the web, and I found out that my brother actually bought me a set of paints set of paints from Vallejo, from Squigma. It's called Dark Future, something like that. Violet and turquoise colors, like this palette. And I thought, this will go hard. This will go hard on my Nurgle. And so I will switch the greens with this turquoise. And I will make the magenta, the violet highlights on it. I started working on the Meyer piece, and right now it looks very, very solid. So maybe when I will finish it, and if we'll,
you have to hurry.
Yeah, I know. We'll make some comparison. Maybe I don't know. If you want to see my miniatures,
maybe if we are planning a battle report for the StarCraft, maybe a short skirmish game with the Warhammer Quest. Staying within the topic of the Games Workshop board games, I really hope to have a new edition of Space Hulk this year.
Very good.
Yeah, because the last one, it was 2013.
It needs a refreshment.
It's more than 10 or maybe 14. But it's more than 10 years since the release.
Okay, but there was also the quest, Warhammer Quest in the 40k.
It was Blackstone.
Black Fortress? No, Blackstone.
Blackstone Fortress, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like how much, when it came out? Because it wasn't
it's been a long time ago.
Yeah, also. as well. So who knows? Maybe next Warhammer Quest in the Green Dark of the 40k.
I bet that it will be a Space Hulk. I hope it will be a Space Hulk because I don't have the previous games, and right now it's time in my life to have a Space Hulk game.
Okay. Please, Games Workshop, if you are listening, please give the Bard the Space Hulk game, because this is the time in his life to do this, please. And guys, if you want to see my miniatures, just let me drop in the comments. I will try to show you them somehow. I don't know how, but I will show. This is about my miniatures, but also I've read some books, but I will talk them about shortly, because I finished Krieg and started Siege of Wrack. So I'm still in the Krieg Astra military territory. Krieg was actually...
That's good.
Krieg was actually great.
Because I completed the Leviathan book and it was average.
Okay. If you were listening as before, when I was talking about the Krieg book, the Krieg book called Krieg, it was like, it was parted into two separate like storylines from before the Great Rift and after the Great Rift. And there is a huge, in my opinion, kind of beautiful in a grimdark way. There is a clamp, connecting both of the stories. I won't spoil anymore. For me, the story ends very, very well and shows who actually the Krieg are. And that I will say everything right now. Millennia has passed, and right now we've got the Siege of Vrax, 1,000 years, something like that, because the Krieg book happens somewhere in K, and right now we've got 42nd millennium, I do believe, something like that. Like then Siege of Vrax is like in exact right now moment in the universe, right? So in the Warhammer universe. So like it took 12 years, the siege of the Vrax. Vrax is a hive city which was overrun by a heretic, and yeah, that's it. Came, settled them up for about a year, built trenches, and started fighting. For now, it's something that we are actually like kind of less here. So a lot of battle scenes, you know, how they dig the trenches, they are shooting the cannons, air shaker cannons, and you know, making charges. Everyone dies around the main hero, but although he has a name, Krieg in the recent history have names, because normally they didn't, and they shouldn't have names. But there are some name characters.
Just the numbers.
Just the numbers, yeah. But I will spoil.
Don't spoil.
If I will say something more about this, I will spoil something. So no, but the name character actually, you know, as the name character lives, or maybe dies, I don't know. But for now, in my history, in my reading, he lives. So he goes to this hive, and right now, that's what I already know. And there is a story of Inquisitor again, because Krieg is very much a topic which Inquisition likes to look, because of their mysterious stuff, right? So like the first Inquisition, which went to the Krieg as a planet, when they said, hey, we want to serve the Emperor again, when landed, stayed there for 1 day and died, because the planet was so bad in atmosphere and radioactive, I'd say, like that, right? Like that. So it's very hard to check them if they're heretic or not, actually.
I also saw that you have another few boxes for your Krieg army as well.
Yes, I want to finish them, at least build them for 2K, for 2,000 points. So this is my aim after the Darkwater, probably. I've painted as well those Kriegs, which I've talked earlier. They're finished, so I've got the painting scheme. And that's it. And the last thing I want to talk, I'm talking today way more than you, probably. Many times it's your corner more than me, but I've also bought the Stalker, the board game.
And I remember that you hunted for this game for so long.
Kibryki Palciwniki, I really love the setting. There are people who are actually, you know, parted in Fallout scenarios, in, you know, wasteland, apocalyptic stuff, etc. There are two main, in my opinion, camps of people. People who are like Fallout, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, etc., etc. So American 50s, 60s vibe style. And there are Euro wastelanders, which are many times based on some kind of explosion in Chernobyl, or also the post-nuclear war elements. And me personally, probably I'm European, I'm Paul. I like that setting, European version of post-apo very, very, very much more. And I love the setting. I love the Stalker.
I'll also have this game and played 2 missions already.
Okay.
It's quite tactical. It's not so fast, but maybe it's the matter of the rule experience.
Yeah, probably.
And it has tons of atmosphere,
which I love. Right now I'm playing on my PC the Stalker Gamma, which is a mode pack for the original StarCraft trilogy. I really like it much better than Stalker 2, which is on Unreal Engine 5, and it hurts the game in my opinion. So right now I'm 100% in, but you know, priorities are priorities. I will finish the Darkwater, I will finish the Krieg, and then I will grab the Stalker miniatures. Yeah,
it will probably end with a few models commissioned.
The pile of shame is not like hurting when you have planned for it. So like, or at least I'm telling myself so yeah, this is it. So this is what is going on in my hobby. I've got a really blast time in my hobby recently, and it's great.
A lot of things are happening.
Yeah.
And the only issue is
it's time, probably time, and managing everything together with life at work and in family. I hope that I will get to the moment when where I could share this with my son as well. But right now I'm sharing this actually some kind of.
It is a big advantage that you're able to tell yourself that when you're sitting with miniatures, it's somehow adjusted to your work, so you can spend a little bit more
in the hobby, yes. But right now I'm introducing my son to this. My son loves my Krieg miniatures.
How old is your son?
1 year and 7 months. So he knows that he looks like I'm putting them back. I'm taking them with utmost care, and he kinda saw this, and there is no Hulk smash right now. But taking it to the mouth and trying to do something with them. This is it. So I'm kind of starting to to sharing this as well. And who knows if my son will you won't experience freaking drugs or something thanks to being a nerd and Warhammer fan. I'm all in. So
hobby month is a bit more modest. It's been a lot of work with the StarCraft and stuff like this. But right now, Iron Kingdoms and Warmachine is my jam, and I'm gathering and collecting old books or old rule books. Actually, I purchased 10 or more books on eBay. They were super cheap in Noble Knight. I paid twice more for just shipping than for the books. And I'm collecting all the books from the first, second, and third edition of Warmachine. As well as I found a super nice and friendly Polish group on Discord dedicated to Warmachine. And I'm hunting for the legacy models.
Those not with rules right now.
Yeah. Because I'm not a tournament player at all. I'm not interested at all in the current meta, but I totally love the atmosphere of Iron Kingdoms, the lore behind the models. I also have a plan to convert some of the miniatures from Warmachine using a few Age of Sigmar bits. It would be super simple, maybe head swap or sword swap, but I want to make them more unique using modern elements. And I have a plan to use them to play. It's a system called 5 Leagues from Borderlands. It's a miniature agnostic system.
Okay, you can use whatever you want.
Yeah, it is a solo war game focused on campaign and emerging story creation. And you can use any models you need. It's a fantasy focused system. There is also a science fiction focused. I'm using it for Necromunda, but it's another
different
topic.
story.
Yeah, and I want to create some stories inside the Iron Kingdom using the old school models and create some nice campaigns. Also, I would love to try one-page rules using Warmachine models too, because I saw that there are fan created lists for one-page rules for Warmachine.
It's actually quite astonishing, as we talked about 2 weeks ago, even way further back, maybe a month ago or two, that the Warmachine is rising and it's a great system. And where we are right now, Bart is collecting legacy models for his own, purpose.
What a surprise, yeah.
But I felt, I will say trap, but it's not trap. It's great actually. I felt for this too because I'm getting Kriegs because it's one of the first posts I ever created here in the Minis for War. I was making some stories for pre-orders about the Krieg. And that's how I ended up with Krieg Army because I thought they were freaking cool. And that's it. So I quite understand that.
I'm so into the Iron Kingdoms world that I even started a Polish blog where I translate and create articles about the lore of the game and stuff like this. It's crazy. But let's end this topic right now because I can tell about this game for hours.
It's a path of life, kind of. And I will know I will sound like a freaking nerd, but I'm freaking proud that this is my way of life.
Yeah. So thank you for listening to our podcast. It's been a pleasure to record for you. And I have a strange feeling that maybe we will need to record the 3rd episode of our podcast focusing on the projects from our studio.
Oh, we'll see about that. Like I've got this in my script right now, but probably this will be true. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, again, please leave a comments. Let's discuss about your hobby projects, your passion, your weird hobby projects like my Iron Kingdom, Borderlands stuff.
You may think that no one wants to hear about your recent very niche system that you have found and started printing yourself a miniatures for the system that is non-existent for about 10 years. Yeah, we want to hear about this because who knows, maybe you will freaking convert us for your system, and the next time we will talk about our hobbies, we'll talk about the game that has died and we're bringing this back to life. Who knows? Just don't be trying to hide this. Tell everything about this for us, please.
Okay, so I can tell you last one word. I ordered the Moonstone starter.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to talk about Moonstone more about the next time probably.
Cheers, guys. It's been a pleasure. Bart here from News for War.
And James from News for War. Thank you for being us for today, and see you on the next one, probably in 2 weeks' time. Maybe. Bye, people. See ya.